Dear students, how are you? I think every one of you is fine and I am also fine. Thank to Almighty that He has given me another chance to come before you. Today, this class is for especially 7 and it is also needed for class 8, class 9 and 10, even for HSC. However, I have selected this topic only for class, especially for class 7. Today I have selected the topics, and the topic is that transformation of sentence. And there are many kinds of transformation of sentence. It may be simple, complex, compound, affirmative, negative, interrogative. But among them, I have selected affirmative to negative. Before going to the mole, before going to the main topic, I would like to say something about transformation of sentence. What is transformation of sentence? Transformation of sentence means a structural change of a sentence. Here, the theme of the sentence will be unchanged, or there will be no change in theme, but there will be a change in structure. That is called transformation of sentence. Today, as I have selected affirmative to negative, so I would like to discuss about some rules of affirmative to negative. First one is must, have to, has to, compel to. If you find must, have to, has to, compel to after subject, then you can use cannot but instead of must, have to, has to, compel to. Just take an example, and the example is that in affirmative, I must follow the rules of health, and the negative will be I cannot but follow the rules of health. So, what we have seen that we can use cannot but instead of must. Next one. Had to. Could not but. That means if you find have to after subject, you can use could not but instead of have to. They, affirmative form, they had to leave the place. Negative, they could not but leave the place. I think you could understand that we can use could not but instead of have to when we change the sentence affirmative to negative. Next. Rule 3. Yes. Not less as than. It indicates that if you find as in a sentence and between two as you will find a positive degree, then in changing negative you can use not less instead of first as, and you can use then instead of second s. Now take an example, and the example is that he is as brave as a lion. Affirmative. And the negative form of it, he is not less brave than a lion. Now, rule number 4. Two dot dot two. Instead of two, we can use so, and infinitive to plus verb. We can use that plus subject plus cannot, or could not plus base verb. Just take an example. He was too lazy to do it. Okay. The negative form will be he was so lazy that plus subject. Here the subject is he. Now you may have confusion which will be used here, cannot or could not. If you find the verb in present form, then you will use cannot, and the verb is in past form, then you have to use could not. Do it. I think you have no confusion about these rules. Next, we can proceed for another one. Rule number 5. Every. Plus noun plus has. There is no plus noun without. So, if you find every plus noun plus has, here has must be as principal verb, then you have to use there is no instead of every, then the noun is again, and you have to use without instead of has. Now take an example. Every man has a Facebook ID. So what will be the negative form of it? The negative form of it will be every. We can use there is no instead of every. There is no man without a Facebook ID. Next, rule number 6. It is also about every. Every plus noun plus verb. Here, in negative form, you have to use there is no instead of every, then the noun plus but plus the rest. Do you know the meaning of the rest? বাকি অংশ. Now let's take example. Affirmative. Everybody likes an honest man. So, in negative form, we have to use there is no instead of every, then body plus part plus the rest, likes an honest man. Now, always, never. So, if you find always in a sentence, then you have to use never if you want to change the sentence into negative form. And after, and in this sentence, you have another task, and the task is that you have to choose the opposite word, and that will the opposite word must be according to the demand of the sentence. Most of the person says that it should be adjective, but no, it should be adjective, it should be noun, it should be verb. But you have to choose a word, and that must be changed. Okay, let's take some example. I always like her. Here there is no adjective, so you have to change this word. Affirmative, negative. I never. The opposite word of like is dislike her. Okay, so it is clear to you that you need to change any word of the sentence according to the demand of the sentence. It is not adjective, it is not specifically adjective, it can any parts of the speech of this sentence. Okay, now as soon as, instead of as soon as, you have to use no sooner had plus BT. Here the BT means past participle form of the verb, and then you have to use then instead of comma. Okay, now take an example. Affirmative, as soon as I saw her. I ran away. Okay. Negative form. Instead of as soon as, we will use no sooner had. No sooner had I. Then VG, that is the past participle form of verb. So, saw, seen. The past participle form of saw is seen, heard, and we have to use then instead of comma. Then I ran away. Next, superlative degree will be changed into positive degree. If you find any superlative degree and in bracket, if it is said that you have changed it negative, then you have to change the superlative degree into positive form. That means if you find a sentence that is superlative degree, then you have to change it to positive. That means positive degree is also negative sentence. Okay. Now I am giving you an example. It is one of the most important subjects. Okay, so it's negative. So what we will do? We will change it into positive form. Okay, but we will write negative. Okay, affirmative, negative. Okay, very few. One of them. So instead of one of them, we will use very few plus rest part of degree. That means this part, very few subjects. Then verb, and here verb will be changed because the subject is plural. The subject is plural, and we know that plural subject always take plural verb as positive degree. Important, as this subject will go there. It. I think you could understand. Now we will discuss another rule, and the rule is that universal truth will be changed into interrogative. Will be changed into interrogative. If you find a universal truth and if you are said to change it into negative, then you have to change it into interrogative. Take example. Health is Health is well. Oh, just I have done a mistake here. We should also universal truth and prabha. It will be changed into interrogative. Health is well. Affirmative, but in negative form. Isn't health well. We can take another example. Every mother loves her child. So negative form will be interrogative. Here, so we should use doesn't. Every mother love her child. So what we have learned that if a proverb or universal truth is given, and if you are asked to change it into negative form, then you will change it into interrogative. Okay. Now I will discuss about an exceptional sentence, and it is negative to affirmative. Okay. If you find believe no stone unturned, TURN is unturned, and we have to use try his, her, their best. That means here the possessive case of subject. Possessive case of subject. Okay. Just take example. I would like to write the example here. He left no stone unturned to solve the problem. So negative and affirmative form will be he. Try. Here I have used past form. So we will write past form of try. Tried. His. As the subject is he and the possessive case of he is his. His best. The best. Now the rest. To solve the problem. Okay, dear students, I have discussed about 13 rules. I think every one of you could understand the rules and how to change a sentence from affirmative to negative. No more today. Another day I will discuss affirmative to negative, affirmative to assertive to interrogative or exclamatory imperative, etc. etc. Blah blah blah. So no more today. I think everyone is fine. Pray to me, and I am also praying for everyone of you. No more today. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.